Hello friends, good morning to all of you. Today we will discuss 24th of February current affairs as we have been following. So the questions I am going to discuss here is very important for your upcoming examination. And along with the current affairs question, we will follow up with some static fact or the extra information whichever available based on individual questions here. Right? So moving to the first question of today's session. Which of the following company has launched Creator Accelerator program in India? And the answer is LinkedIn. Option C is the correct one, right? Online professional network LinkedIn on Wednesday announced the India leg of its Global Creator Accelerator program. This is the name here, Global Creator Accelerator program, to support creators in growing their communities on the platform. India is the second largest market to roll out the program after its successful launch in the US in September 2021. Right? LinkedIn headquarters is in California, US, and CEO Ryan Roslansky. Ryan Roslansky is the CEO of LinkedIn at present, and California, USA is the headquarters. Right? So these are the kind of static fact. It may repeat itself multiple times because of some current issues may come based on this particular organization, based on some specific banks, right? So we will repeat ourselves on that particular, so that at least the static fact gets repeated multiple times. Okay, so it would be helpful to remember the static fact as well for longer period of time to all of you. Okay, so revision is always the key to master in current affairs, so remember this thing. Right, moving to question number 2 here. PhD CCI sees India's financial year 2022 GDP growth in which range? It's not this one, but financial year 2022 GDP growth in which range? And here's the answer, 9.3 to 9.7%. Option A. Industry body PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, that is PhD CCI, has projected India's financial year 2022 GDP growth at 9.3 to 9.7%. The industry body's rationale behind the estimated GDP growth for the fiscal year came on the back of supportive government policies, decelerating impact of coronavirus, and continued improvement in the key economic and business indicators. Pradeep Multani, president of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry, said in a statement on Wednesday. Right? So, Pradeep Multani, president of PhD CCI, said in a statement. Here's the static fact you can remember. Pradeep Multani, the president of PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. And what's the growth range? That is 9.3 to 9.7%. I hope this is clear. Who chaired the meeting of Indian ambassador to European Union countries at present is going to be held? And it's already done with. Yeah, this is Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. Option D is the correct one. External Affairs Minister Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar held a series of one-to-one meetings with the minister from Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world on the sidelines of Munich Security Conference in Germany on Saturday. AIR correspondent reports the External Affairs Minister held meetings with the Foreign Minister of Romania, Mongolia, Sweden, and other dignitaries who are attending the conference. During a bilateral meeting with his Romanian counterpart, Bogdan Orescu, Dr. Jaishankar held discussions on issues of mobility, cyber, space, defense, disaster resilience, and health. With Swedish Foreign Minister Ann Linde, the External Affairs Minister noted the progress in their bilateral cooperation and discussed the respective national security challenges. Right? Okay. So, who chaired the meeting for Indian ambassador to European countries? And here's the answer. External Affairs Minister Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar. Right? Okay. Moving to next. $774 billion revenue opportunities for India from healthcare by which year? Means it would be achievable by which year in respect of India from healthcare sector itself. And this is 2030. Option B. India has the potential to generate the staggering $774 billion revenue in the healthcare sector by 2030, suggests a new report on Wednesday. The report by Aspire Circle, a social impact leadership champion and advocate, showed that with an investment of $207 billion, the country can create 12 million jobs in healthcare and allied sector, which can impact 1.5 billion lives by 2030. So what's the revenue opportunities could be achievable by India from healthcare sector, that is $774 billion, and by which year it would be can meet its demand, that is 2030, right? Moving to next. Agritech startup Krishify raises what amount from investor for business growth? Agritech startup Krishify raises what amount from investor for business growth? And the answer here is $3.5 million. For investor, right? From investor for business growth, right? Okay. Agritech startup Krishify raises what amount from investor for business growth? And the answer here is $3.5 million. Agritech startup Krishify on Tuesday said it has raised $3.5 million from the investor to grow its business across the country. In August last year, company had raised 2.7 million in a pre-series A funding round. This is a funding round, you can say pre-series A funding round at first, led by Omidar Network India, Onkur Capital and Aureus Ventures, right? The remembering thing for you here is Agritech startup Krishify raises $3.5 million from investor for business growth. Whatever be there in the previous year, that is not much important, but for your understanding, it is been given here, right? It is given here. The company had raised 2.7 million USD in pre-series A funding round led by Omidar Network India, Onkur Capital and Aureus Ventures. Krishify is also accelerating monetization on the network via advertising, lead generation and marketing services for companies targeting rural consumers. The statement said this, right? So Agritech startup Krishify raises $3.5 million from investors for business growth, right? Moving to next. What percent of stake to be sold by Vodafone in talks with Airtel in Indus Tower? Right? This is very important question, and that is 5%. Right? British telecom giant Vodafone is in discussions to sell around 5% stake in the Indus Tower to Bharti Airtel, according to industry sources. The stake is estimated to be valued at over 3,300 crore, and the proceeds will be pumped into the Indian entity Vodafone Idea, as mentioned by the PTI or as reported by PTI, right? Press Trust of India, that is. Though Vodafone did not confirm the stake sale in Airtel, the British firm confirmed on Wednesday that it is in talks to sell an initial 4.7% stake and is looking to eventually sell its entire 28.1% stake in Indus Tower. So this is minimum 4.7 and maximum 28.1, and at present it is estimated that 5% stakes to be sold in by Vodafone is in talks with Airtel in Indus Tower, and Vodafone headquarters is in Berkshire. This is one K is missing here. This is Berkshire, right? United Kingdom, and CEO Nick Reed. Nick Reed is the CEO of Vodafone. I hope this is clear, right? Moving to question number 7 here. Which of the following telecom service provider bets for giving e-bank backhaul spectrum with 5G frequencies? And the answer here is Airtel. Bharti Airtel CEO Gopal Vittal on Wednesday made a strong pitch for giving out E-band backhaul spectrum with 5G radio waves, while cautioning that not doing so could put the 5G game in serious jeopardy. Right? So Bharti Airtel CEO mentioned this. Bharti Airtel headquarters is in New Delhi and CEO Gopal Vittal. And Airtel, a telecom service provider, bets for giving E-band backhaul spectrum with 5G frequencies. Right? Moving to next. Here's the important day-based question. And as you know that on a daily basis, if there is any specific importance on any specific day, we are taken into account, that means on that particular day. This is for the purpose to make you understand about the important days itself, right? So here's the importance of this particular day, that is 24th of February is being observed as Central Excise Day, right? So Central Excise Day is observed on 24th of February. And it commemorates the Central Excise and Salt Act, which was enacted on 24th February. This is for the very first time in 1944. The annual event highlights the essential role played by Central Excise Department in the industrial development of the country. Central Excise Day honors the contribution of the Central Board of Indirect Taxes and Customs to the country, the officers associated with it and their services. The day also encourages CBIC employees to carry out their duties with utmost sincerity, as they have the responsibility of checking the corruption of goods from the manufacturing sector. So Central Excise Day is observed on 24th of February, right? So I hope you understood all the news points I have discussed here, and that is all for now, and good day.